Hey, what's going on, you degenerates of the lesser internet? I got two channels. I was about to give the intro to my main one, but this isn't. We ain't talking about gaming. We're not talking about gaming today. We're talking about. I'm just going to be upfront about it. We're talking about a juicy, spicy, juicy fucking sex convo. uh, some bitch. Some bitch. Son of a bitch. Anyway, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. There we go. Yeah, that never happened. Now the lighting's all fucked up. Anyway, this is my off-topic channel. What is a fucking cat whisker doing up here? Jesus. Anyway, yeah, the top three. The top three. I had a conversation with my buddy the other day, and we were just talking about our hookups and the good old days and all that good shit. And I asked him, like, who would be your top pick out of my we each asked each other who would our top pick be out of our like past girlfriends and stuff like that. I was waiting for him to break up with his longtime girl. I knew it was coming. He was with her for like 10 years, right? I was waiting for him to break up with her so I could finally fucking tell him. I really wanted to tell him for some reason. And so, of course, I brought the topic up. Well, I didn't bring the topic up. It just kind of happened naturally. We were talking about women and stuff like that. But I was the one that pushed the question, who would you like to hook up with, from our own past hookups? Like, who is your favorite? And it turned into a top three conversation. And I noticed his top three were not the same as my top three. He didn't really have a top three. He's kind of a late bloomer. Well, I was too, but I made up for it. He kind of didn't. Well, he was with the same fucking person for the past 10 years, so yeah, I told him out of all of his like ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, going all the way back in the day, his most recent one is probably the one I'd probably want to hook up with the most. Just because I don't know, no real reason. Just because I've seen her the most over the past like 10 years or so. Those fantasies kind of get away from you a little bit. Now that the relationship is at a close, I feel like I could tell him. He gets really weird about that sort of thing. He always thought like I had a crush on her or something like that, which I didn't. Anyway, so I asked the question, that was my answer, and his answers surprised me a little bit. I've been philandering around for a really long time. Even after I met my last girlfriend, current wife, at the first half of our relationship, we were in an open relationship, and we were able to philander around. And so I got a few notches, under my belt, and so there was a lot for him to pick through. Like we were just talking about all sorts of shit. He was talking about the crazy ones and all that stuff, the ones that would like flirt with my friends and shit like that. I mean, not all of them were girlfriends, to be honest. A lot of them were pickups or just, fuck buddies. With the exception of one, I never slept with anyone who slept with any of my friends. And it was a complete... there was no cheating going on. It was just a complete coincidence. Like, I'm gonna try to leave all the details out of it, just in case, you know what I mean? I don't want one of them, like, finding a video of me talking about them or some bullshit. I ain't looking for any of that. So, all no names. But his top three picks of who he wanted to sleep with out of my past were not the same top three as my favorites. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that. And the reason being is because all he knows is what he sees. You know, that's kind of how it works. You know, he could see, you know, the ones with the curves. Maybe he has an Asian fetish, so, you know, he likes the Asian one, or he likes big boobs, and so he's gonna pick her. You know, that's all very superficial and stuff. But the reason why his top 3 picks aren't my top 3 picks is because I actually slept with all of them, and I could tell you which ones were better than the others. And so, yeah, my answers are different. And I was telling him this shit, and he was like, really? And I had to tell him, yeah, really, here's why. So I thought I would just kind of, I thought that would, it was a good conversation. It was just fun. It really warmed my cockles talking about this. And, you know, I'm 37, you know, my philandering days are over. I'm getting there into the old man territory. Even though my fucking dick works just fine. But, yeah, it was super fun to talk about. And I wanted to make a video on it specifically about my top 3. Now, the reason why my top 3 was different from his is because he was just looking at it from a superficial, well, let's be honest, it's all superficial. He was just looking at it, he was just sight reading. He was just looking at the girls and going, oh, I like them. Again, I actually slept with them, so I know a little bit more. Like, I know that really good looking one with the big boobs. That's all she got going. She didn't know how to fucking do shit. She couldn't suck a dick. She was lazy as fuck. She fucking screamed and whined annoyingly. Like, and then this one over here he really liked. She kind of had a smell problem. Like, he didn't know all this stuff. How could he? So I'm here to tell you the reasons why my top 3 are the top 3. So I'm not going to give their names or anything like that. I'm going to not describe them for a reason I will reveal a little bit later. But my top 3 is in no particular order. One of my top 3, the reason why she's in my top 3, and I like her one of the best, one of the top 3 women I've been with, is that pussy. I love a good fat pussy. All men do. All men like pussy. I really like the fat pussy. The one where you shave it down and it's just fucking plump and out there. The one it looks like she got a penis. You know, all that good stuff. Fat ass fucking pussy lips. It was plump as hell. I liked it so much. I liked looking at it so much. I liked going down on her more than I liked actual fucking her. Just because I just loved staring at it at all times. All the positions we were doing, I just loved the ones where I could stare down at it. So I never did fucking missionary with her unless she was, well, she was missionary position, but I never like laid on top of her and we're fucking that way because I wanted to see it at all times. It was just so miraculously big. Just those lips were fucking huge. They were these giant fucking sausages. And she was tight. And as tightness goes, you know, some are tighter than others. You don't really, unless there's some weirdness going on. I never really had like a loose girlfriend or a hookup. They were all pretty tight. I mean, we were all in our, 20s, so, I don't know a fucking, like, loose fucking pussy that wasn't, in their 20s. I mean, it happens, I guess, but she didn't have any weird fucking problems. She was tight as fuck. Wet. Wet is almost the wettest person I've been with. It was just a combination of how good her pussy looked. It looked good hairy, and it looked good shaven. Some pussies look good more or less one way or the other. This looked good both. It was wet as fuck. Fat fucking pussy. I loved eating it. I loved fucking it. And I loved how wet it was. Wetness is a problem. Wetness is definitely a problem. Some girls just aren't as wet as others. Some girls squirt, some girls don't. It's not all about you and what you could do and what you could make them do. Some girls just fucking can't. Some girls, I've been with girls that you just touch them, just barely, barely touch them, and they just squirt everywhere. And I've been with girls that no matter how hard you fucking hit that and keep it up and do all the fucking tricks, they just, it ain't happening. You can't make them come. So it's a problem depending on, you know, who you're talking about. But this girl, you know, you had the big plump pussy, which I liked. She was wet as fuck, and she was tight. She just had God pussy. Just, I loved that fucking pussy of hers. Looks wise and body wise, like she wasn't this big giant fat girl, or you know, she didn't have like super duper curves. She didn't look like the type of person that you would expect to have this giant fucking plump ass fucking wet ass pussy. I hope I don't get copy strike by Cardi B now. But she didn't look like it, and I was quite surprised the first time we fucking went back to her place. It was, why is this leaking all over? Well, it's because of the topic, I guess. The Hulk dick is fucking bursting at the seams, literally. But yeah, it was pretty surprising. She wasn't the type of person I would think would... I've been with a few women. I watch a lot of porn. I actually have my own porn site. I don't talk about too much, but I do. And the ones with the big giant pussies are... It's distributed fat. It's chubby girls who have tons of curves, who aren't necessarily fat. They're usually black or Latin. It's just in the genes. She wasn't any of that. She wasn't this big giant BBW curvy, you know, ethnic girl. She was well, she wasn't an ethnic girl. I'll just say that. So she wasn't what you think she was underneath there, but she totally was. And this is, you never know what a person's like until you see them naked. Like, you could look at someone. I got a gift. This is a gift I have. I could look at someone and just know what they're like underneath their clothes. I know what their body looks like underneath all of that. And a lot of people get blinded by the clothing they wear, or the hairstyle, or how they carry themselves. It's like, none of that means anything. Strip all the fucking clothes off of them, and they're a completely different fucking person. And that's the reason why my friend's top 3 is different from my personal top 3, because he hasn't seen them and experienced them the way I do. So this is one of my top 3. She just had fucking God pussy. And I wish... Well, I'm not going to say anything else. For, again, reasons I'll mention at the end. So that's girl number 1. Girl number 2, similar to girl number 1, except it wasn't her pussy, it was her asshole. This woman is really what got me into anal, to be honest. Like, I've had it before. This girl, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I've always 100% been a pussy man up until this point. A lot of my sexual identity has to do with this woman. There was pre-her and after her. And before her, I was 100% pussy man. After her, I'm not afraid to admit, I like asshole. I like a good asshole just as much as I like a good pussy. Like, a nice juicy butthole is just as mouth-watering to me as a nice wet pussy. Fucking one, I like it just as much as the other. I went through some ebbs and flows, like, with what I thought I liked versus what I didn't, and when I came out at the end of all of it, I like them both. I like them both equally. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. And yes, since we're talking about assholes, I gotta mention, because there's always someone, no matter what group you're in, no matter what circle you're in, there's always that one fucking guy who never fucking had anal before, always wanting to fucking pretend you're gay or some shit. Just because they're fucking, I don't fucking, write a list of fucking body parts I won't touch on a woman's body. I like it all. I've always liked it all, but after this woman... I gotta be honest, I like the asshole just as much as the pussy. I do. I really do. That doesn't make me like an ass man. Like I said, I like it just as much as. But it really changed the way I think about sex and women. And I just like all of it now. I just like all of them. I like it. I just like it all. It really did change the way I think of everything. And the reason why is she was into anal. She wasn't just into anal. She had a great looking asshole. It was weird. It's still weird. Like, statistically, you don't see this. You don't see people with huge buttholes. And I'm not talking about, like, nasty, used, pummeled, prolapsed, beaten up fucking buttholes. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about that shit at all. I'm talking about naturally large anuses. Just a naturally large sphincter. A porn star in mind, if you want to look her up, Sarah Banks. Sarah Banks is a porn star I actually kind of like. Compared to other porn stars, she has an unnaturally large booty hole. It's just so big. It's like fucking this fucking big. It's like as big as her pussy. And girl number 2 had this giant fucking butthole. It stuck out like a sore thumb. It really fucking did. It's the first thing I fucking noticed when, her legs were up in the air. She was really into anal. Like I said, I've had it before this, but she wanted to have it every time up until this point. I'll say every time I wanted anal or had anal, or it was always like a planned thing, either on my part or her part. They have to prepare. They have to clean themselves out or go through rituals. Or maybe they got to change their diet and not eat all day if they know they're going to have sex later. Something like this. Something. She was the only one that I've ever encountered that didn't really have to do that. She did watch certain things she ate, and she made sure she smelt nice, and she, of course, had her bathroom rituals before, during, and after. But she was really the only one I know that we could just have anal sex anytime, and she wouldn't. I mean, if she was expecting to poop, or was backed up or something, she would say, "Hey, not a good idea," and that's it. But pretty much every time other than something like that, she would be able to just have anal. She wouldn't have to like prep. There was never shit on my dick. There was never any fucking smells. She was just naturally clean. And I know that's weird to say. Like, you might be right here thinking, like, what? That's not how the human body works, you fucking dork. Obviously, you're a fucking virgin. I've had sex and anal sex before. Like, really, I get you. I've never fucking experienced that either. Maybe she just, cleaned herself out a lot afterwards. But I'm telling you, there's times where we had anal sex the next day, and she wasn't in there fucking like hardcore cleaning herself out, because when you rile up, the skin, when you're in there cleaning and doing a lot of enemas and shit like that, it does rub on the skin, or it's technically not skin, like your organs, and it disrupts it, and it smells. It does have a smell. You ever fucking like fall down and like skin your knee or your elbow or something like that, and it's healing and everything, but it's still like weirdly like raw? Like, it has a smell. It has that lymph. It smells like lymph. A very organy smell, and when you clean yourself out or scrub yourself too much, that smell is very prominent, and you could just tell she never had that smell. But she was always very clean. She either did some sort of magical voodoo, or my theory is she was so in tune with herself with anal sex that she didn't tense up at all, and it was just a pleasure every fucking time. She had a good digestive tract, and she just, I don't know, but it was a pleasure to be with her every time, and she loved anal sex. It looked fantastic. It was very plump. It just looked good. It just looked good. It didn't just feel good. It looked good. And she felt good, too. She was never fucking, like, loose or anything like that. It was always fucking tight going in. And she was also one of the few people I could have anal sex with and not need lube every time. Of course, it's better with lube, of course, but I've gone in there dry before, like on the fly, and it was a okay experience. You know, she wasn't always writhing in pain. It was just she was just the great fucking booty hole of my life, and it was fantastic. So yeah, T the fuck to the MI, but it is what it is. All right, girl number 3. Girl number 3. I have, you know, I've had some real good fucking booty hole anal fucking girls, plural. I've had some real good fucking pussies. I could put a couple of them on this list as well, but for the sake of the good top 3, we got our pussy girl, we got God pussy, we got God asshole, and now we got that God damn blowjob queen. I'm an okay size. I'm not small. I'm not huge. I'm an okay size. I really am. And I don't know if it's bad luck or what, but I have not been with a woman that could give a good blowjob. I have not been with one that could give a good one except this one woman. She's the only one that could go consistently deep throat me. Consistently just going all the way to the base. All the time, every time, without it being a problem. Every other woman I've been with, you know, some of them could get all the way down there, but, you know, they just do it as like a one-time thing. Like they go down to see if they could do it, and they pull back out. They're coughing and choking and shit. All my blowjobs my whole life have been fucking halvesies. They just go down halfway until they're comfortable, and then they just kind of do that and just slobber on it like that. You know, I'm not talking about teeth or technique or all this stuff. I mean, not every woman is, you know, created equal. You know, some of them, you know, got the technique down. Some of them really like to give the sloppy ones. Others like to be more clean and use their hands. This one can go all the way down. Her technique was great. She liked to use the hands. She didn't have to use the hands. She was pretty slobbery, but not like too grossly bubbly and spitty. She knew what she was doing, and she could go all the way down consistently. Every blowjob was a deep throat blowjob. And she was the only one that gave me these consistent, like, half an hour slobbering, face-fucking, deep throat blowjobs through the entire duration until I fucking could pop. The only one that could do that. I'm not saying I haven't, you know, no girl hasn't ever made me come, you know, going down on me or anything like that. It has, but this one consistently every time. If she was going down on me, like before sex and everything, like when we're doing fucking, what's the goddamn word? Not role play. Foreplay. If we were doing foreplay and she's gonna go down on me a little bit beforehand, there's not gonna be an afterplay. That's it. So it was always that was always the star of the show with her, is the fucking blowjob. Sometimes I'd come home after work. Sometimes she would just do it in the parking lot, and every single time it was like a thing. It was never like a tease. It was never foreplay. Every time she did it, she really put her heart into it, and it was the star of the show, and she was good with it. She was really fucking good. And so, yeah. That's my top 3. That's my fucking top 3. Girl number 1, girl number 2, and girl number 3. Now, the reason why I don't want to give any details, I don't want to, like, tell you their names, or give their body type, or their race, or anything other than just, you know, their skills, or, you know, their, you know, how wet their pussy is or something like that. The reason why I don't want to give any more details other than that is because, well, a variety of reasons. Number one, I don't want a fucking documentary on YouTube detailing every gory fucking detail about their fucking body or skill. I don't fucking want that, just on the off chance that they, like if one of my exes fucking sees, and it's happened before, if one of my exes sees one of my videos on YouTube or shit or anything like that, and they just happen to come across this, they'll know who I'm talking about. And then they'll fucking ask me to take the video down and all this fucking shit. So no names, plausible deniability. Not only that, I just think it's a bad idea. I just think it's a bad idea. And the other reason, probably my number one reason, is one of the three people I was talking about is my wife. That's part of the reason why I married her. Because that shit was so good. Call me shallow, I don't give a fuck. I love that woman to death. But, yeah. She got it going on. Yeah, one of the three is definitely my wife. I'm not going to tell you which one either. Not going to tell you which one either. Because I do have my limits. I do. I got my fucking limits. But that's my fucking video for the day. I haven't posted on this channel in a while. And this is just the type of shit I want to post here. Just wild, crazy, fucking retarded ass fucking shit. Where I'm just talking about all the fucking gory details. That's about it. I just wanted to fucking document that shit and give you my top 3. Feel free to comment about whatever the fuck you want. I'm probably going to regret making this video, but oh well, that's what this channel is for. Stay tuned. I will post something else at some point, and it'll be fucking dumb. As always. Peace out, guys.